Look at this thing. Seriously, look at it. It's probably the most used and yet the most ignored appliance in your entire kitchen. You tap a few buttons, wait for a beep, and get on with your day. It's just background noise, a magic box that heats up your coffee and your leftovers. But what if I told you that this box, this everyday miracle sitting on your counter, is hiding a secret? A secret born in the shadow of World War II, from a technology that was meant to see, not to cook. That the story of its invention is filled with rival claims, corporate espionage, and a discovery so bizarre, it was literally stumbled upon. And that even today, after billions of meals, there's a burning question physicists still argue about. How does it actually work? And are we using it all wrong? Stick around, because today we're cracking open the mystery of the microwave. This isn't just a history lesson. By the end of this, you're going to see that humble box in your kitchen in a way you never have before, and you might never use it the same way again. Let's start with the big one. The question everyone thinks they know the answer to: how does a microwave oven heat your food? If you said it heats from the inside out, congratulations, you're wrong. Almost everyone is. It's the most common misconception out there. If you said it works by exciting water molecules, you're closer, but you're only telling half the story, and the full story is so much cooler. It all comes down to one specific type of wave: electromagnetic radiation. Now, before you panic, light is electromagnetic radiation. The radio playing in the background, electromagnetic radiation. The microwaves from your router? You guessed it. A microwave oven uses a specific, tuned frequency of this radiation. And here's the first key. That frequency is exactly tuned to something very special. Water molecules are quirky. They have a positive end and a negative end, like tiny little magnets. Normally, they're jumbled around every which way. Now enter the microwave. Inside that metal box, a component called a magnetron creates an oscillating electromagnetic field. Think of it like an invisible wave that's constantly flipping its polarity, positive, negative, billions of times a second. And those polar water molecules, they try to be polite. They try to line up with the field, positive end to the negative field and vice versa. But the field is flipping so insanely fast, 2.45 billion times a second, that the molecules can't keep up. They just spin. They spin frantically, trying to align themselves with a field that won't stay still. And what happens when things spin against each other? Friction. And what does friction create? Heat. Pure, simple, molecular friction. The microwave oven agitates the polar molecules within your food, and they literally heat themselves up. So it doesn't heat from the inside out. It heats the outer layers first, just like an oven does. The waves can only penetrate a few centimeters into the food. The heat then conducts inward from those hot outer layers. That's why you get those frustrating frozen centers in a supposedly hot leftover. The waves haven't reached the middle, and there hasn't been enough time for the heat to conduct. And the excites water molecules part? Also only half true. It's not just water. It works on any polar molecule. Fats, sugars, and certain salts get agitated too. That's why a plate with no water content can get scorching hot, or why oily foods get so much hotter than other things. This precise frequency, 2.45 gigahertz, wasn't chosen by accident. It's a sweet spot. Too low a frequency, and the waves would pass right through the food without interacting. Too high, and they'd only cook the very surface, like a broiler. This frequency gives us that perfect penetration depth. But this incredibly precise, world-changing application of physics wasn't discovered by a chef. It wasn't even discovered by someone trying to cook. It was discovered by a man who just really liked chocolate. The year is 1945. World War II is just ending. A self-taught engineer named Percy Spencer is standing in front of an active military-grade radar set, working for the defense contractor Raytheon. He was a brilliant man, known for his relentless work ethic and his curious mind. On this particular day, he was testing a new vacuum tube called a magnetron, the very heart of radar technology. And then he felt something strange, a weird, gooey sensation in his pocket. He reached in and pulled out a mess, a completely melted chocolate bar. Now, a less curious man might have just been annoyed. But Percy Spencer was fascinated. He immediately started testing. He sent out for a bag of popcorn kernels and held them near the magnetron. Pop, 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 pop. Popcorn showered his lab. Next, he and a colleague decided to try an egg. They pointed the device at an egg, and the egg, well, it didn't just cook. The rapid buildup of steam inside made it energetic. A colleague leaned in for a closer look, and the egg exploded all over his face. Percy Spencer didn't see a radar component anymore. He saw something else entirely. He saw a revolutionary cooking device. He went straight to his managers at Raytheon, and he convinced them to patent the idea immediately. The radar range was born. But the first microwave oven was nothing like what we have today. It was 6 feet tall, weighed over 750 pounds, cost the equivalent of over $20,000 today, and needed to be plumbed in with water cooling. It was a beast sold exclusively to restaurants and ocean liners. It took decades of refinement, of making the magnetron smaller and cheaper, for it to finally enter our homes. And its journey to your countertop was anything but smooth. For years, a shadow hung over the microwave. Fear, suspicion. Was this radar cooking our food safe? Were these radio waves giving us cancer, making our food radioactive? Let's be absolutely 100% clear. Number, a microwave oven does not and cannot make your food radioactive. That requires nuclear reactions, altering the very atoms themselves. Microwaves just make molecules wiggle. They are non-ionizing radiation. It's the same basic principle as the sun warming your skin, just at a different frequency. The radiation is also contained. That metal box and the mesh on the glass door are a Faraday cage, designed to keep the waves trapped inside. As long as the door seals properly and isn't damaged, you are safe. The minute you open the door or hit stop, the magnetron turns off and the waves vanish instantly. They don't hang around in your food or in the air. The real danger? It's far more mundane. Thermal burns. From things like superheated water, where water heated in a perfectly smooth cup in the microwave can suddenly and violently erupt when disturbed. Or from the simple fact that a microwave pastry can have a cool, doughy outside and a molten lava fruit filling that will scar your tongue for a week. The danger isn't the radiation, it's the uneven heating this revolutionary technology creates. Which brings us to the modern day. We all have one. We all use one. But are we using it right? Because I'm willing to bet you're making at least one of these classic mistakes. First, you probably just punch in a random time and hit start. You're flying blind. The most underused button on your microwave is the power level button. Think of it like the throttle on a car. Why would you blast a cup of delicate soup at full power for 2 minutes when you could gently warm it at 50% power for 4 minutes and get a perfectly even, non-explosive temperature? For reheating leftovers, using a medium power for a longer time allows the heat to conduct to the center without turning the outside into rubber. It's a game changer. Second, you just throw the container in the center and walk away. But microwaves have hot and cold spots. It's a fact of their physics. The waves bounce around the chamber, creating standing waves with areas of intense energy and areas of very little. You can actually map this yourself. Take a dozen slices of bread and lay them out on a plate to cover the entire turntable. Microwave them for a minute. The slices that get toasted show you the hot spots. The ones that are still soft are the cold spots. This is why the turntable is there, to move the food through these spots for more even cooking. But you can help it. Stirring, rotating, or rearranging food halfway through is the single biggest thing you can do to fight uneven heating. And metal? The universal rule is never put metal in the microwave. But it's not that simple. It's not the metal itself. It's the shape. Smooth, rounded metal, like the base of a Chinese takeout container, is usually fine. It reflects the waves harmlessly. It's thin, jagged metal that's the problem. Think a twisted fork or the crumpled edge of aluminum foil. These points can act like antennas, concentrating the electrical charge and creating massive sparks, which is a phenomenon called arcing. So while you shouldn't just throw a spoon in there, not all metal is an instant death sentence. But honestly, it's better to be safe than sorry and just avoid it unless you know exactly what you're doing. Now let's talk about what this thing is actually good for. Because it's not just for reheating yesterday's pizza, its superpower is speed and efficiency. Steaming vegetables? A handful of broccoli florets with a tablespoon of water in a covered bowl for 2 minutes gives you perfectly steamed, bright green, nutrient-rich broccoli far faster than boiling water on the stove. Cooking bacon? Layer it between paper towels on a plate and microwave it. You'll get incredibly flat, super crispy bacon in minutes without a greasy, splattered stovetop. Melting chocolate or butter? The controlled, gentle heat of a low-power microwave is perfect for it, preventing it from burning. But its greatest trick, the one that feels like actual magic, is what it can do with a bar of soap. You've probably seen the video. A bar of ivory soap goes into the microwave for 2 minutes and emerges as a gigantically fluffy, cloud-like sculpture. Why? Remember those water molecules? Ivory soap has a lot of air whipped into it. The microwaves energize those water molecules, creating steam. And the expanding steam puffs up all that trapped air, turning a dense bar into a science experiment you can actually use to wash your hands. It's a perfect, simple demonstration of the raw power contained within that box. So where does this technology go from here? It feels like it's been the same for 40 years. But innovation is happening. Inverter technology is the biggest leap. A standard microwave pulses its power. Full power is actually the magnetron running at 100% and then turning off to simulate a lower power. Inverter microwaves supply continuous power at a lower level, like a dimmer switch. This allows for truly gentle defrosting without starting to cook the edges, and far more precise cooking. They are genuinely better, and if you're ever in the market for a new one, it's the feature to look for. Then there's the combination microwave, which integrates a heating element to act as a convection oven, broiler, and microwave all in one. This finally solves the microwave's greatest weakness: it can't brown or crisp. By combining the speed of the microwave with the browning power of convection heat, you can cook a frozen chicken breast quickly and have it come out with a beautifully browned, crispy skin. It's the ultimate fusion of speed and quality. But the future might be even smarter. Imagine a microwave with a built-in thermal camera that can see the hot and cold spots on your plate in real time and adjust the waves to cook it perfectly evenly. Or one that you simply tell what food you're putting in, and it uses a database and sensors to cook it perfectly every single time. The technology's all there. It's just a matter of time before your microwave becomes the smartest, most intuitive appliance in your kitchen. It started as a side effect of war, a melted chocolate bar in the pocket of a genius. It became a misunderstood appliance shrouded in myth. And now it sits on your counter, still mostly underestimated. It's not just a reheating machine. It's a device that harnesses the fundamental properties of matter to create heat from nothing but energy and motion. It's a testament to human curiosity, to the power of asking, why did that happen? Instead of just, what do I clean this up with? So the next time you heat up your coffee, take a second. Look at that box. Think about the waves bouncing around at the speed of light. The billions of water molecules inside your mug spinning in perfect, frantic unison, creating the heat you need to start your day. You're not just using an appliance, you're commanding a miniature universe of physics. You are conducting a symphony of energy, one that was discovered by accident, but perfected by purpose. It's not just a microwave. It's one of the most fascinating pieces of technology you will ever own. And now you finally know its story. If you love this story, hit the like button and share it with someone who uses a microwave every day. And if you want more incredible accidental inventions that shaped our world, subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't believe what comes next.